The only thing Jimmy enjoyed more than the women of Earth was working on his vintage racer. If he'd been from Earth back in the day, they would have called him a gearhead. But Jimmy wasn't from Earth, and he'd never driven a car. What he had done was grow up around hotshots, racing spaceships, held together by quick welds, experience, and a healthy bit of hope. Jimmy's ship was different. He had the experience, but hope was replaced with certainty. His vintage racer was the fastest ship in the system, if he could just get it to fly. A 2135 Voslian sat in its cradle before him, purring like an earth kitten, which he also had back home. The ship was perfectly tuned, running at peak efficiency. Every system was mint condition, maneuvering jets, operational, electronics, perfect, life support, flawless. Everything worked except the one thing that mattered, the main drive. The problem was somewhere in the magnetic constrictors. He'd gone system by system, refurbishing each component until it gleamed, but kept coming back to the drive issue. And he just couldn't crack it. Finally, one evening, Jimmy decided he needed a break. He headed to the Flow, the station's hub of entertainment and commerce. His most frequented shop was Earth Antiques, but his favorite destination was the basement, a speakeasy decorated in 1920s Earth style. Visitors often dressed the part, which meant the women wore slinky 1940s fashions. Holding a cocktail, Jimmy approached a beautiful Maldovian woman in a light teal dress. "Hi, I'm Jimmy." Then his jaw dropped. She told him her name. Her voice was beautiful. He could hear it in the distance, but the words were lost as his eyes followed the contours of her hair. It fell in waves down the side of her head, her ear peeking through right in the valley between them. Waves. The constrictor. That was it. Jimmy set his drink down and took the woman's hands in his, looking into her eyes. "Thank you." He didn't see her face contort in confusion, or notice her hands still held in front of her. He never caught her name. But her hair, that was the answer. The magnetic constrictors didn't need a single point of compression. They needed to function as a wave. Earth ships from that era weren't solid fuel rockets with physical bells and fixed constriction points. His engine had no physical constrictor, just an array of magnetic emitters creating a wave pattern calibrated to the ship's original fuel. Fuel that no longer existed, just like leaded gasoline had gone out of style on Earth centuries ago. Modern fuel burned cleaner. He needed to adjust the emitters so the wave would center properly, just like that woman's ear peeking through her hair. He really should have caught her name. Jimmy raced back to his shop and dove into the adjustments. Within minutes, he was ready for a test fire. A knock came at the door. With an anxious sigh, Jimmy opened it to find the woman in the light teal dress standing there, holding 2 cocktails. She extended one toward him. "You forgot this." Jimmy forgot about his engine. He forgot about everything. "Tell me your name again, please." She smiled. "Amelia, but you can call me Minnie." She glanced past him at the Voslian in its cradle. "What are you working on that made you leave me alone in that juice joint?" Excitement welled up, both from his discovery and her presence. Jimmy told her about his project, about how her hair had inspired the solution he'd been chasing for months. He handed her a set of eye protection. Together, Jimmy and Minnie watched with anticipation as he initiated the drive test. The magnetic emitters hummed to life, creating a perfect wave of compression that pulsed through the engine bell. The Voslian roared. Jimmy took her hand in his. The fastest ship in the system was finally ready to fly, but all of his attention was on Minnie. What vintage machine would you restore in space? Comment and follow Sci-Fi Shorts for more stories.